Donald Trump was asked a question no one should fumble. So, how are you holding up after the death of Charlie Kirk? Now pause right there. A friend, your protege, has been brutally gunned down. A man who spent his life defending you and your ideology is dead. Most people would show a sliver of humanity, sadness, grief, even just the courtesy of a thoughtful pause. But not Trump. His answer, I'm very good. And then, like a man who can't stop tripping over his own ego, pivots straight into bragging about the construction beginning on the White House ballroom. My name is Shanda, and welcome to In the Deep End.
Condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
This is the guy. This is the leader you've hitched your wagon to, you Trump supporters. His protege was violently executed. And did you hear any grief in this man's voice? Any respect? Any humanity? No, because for Trump, tragedy isn't tragedy. It's just another stage by which he can center himself. He's bragging about his new ballroom that I'm sure will have all the gold leaf furniture, hand-woven Persian rugs, and adorned with crystal teardrop chandeliers. And this moment is proof of what we've all been saying for years. Donald Trump doesn't care about America. He doesn't care about the American people. And he doesn't care about you. I guarantee you, anything that he does that gives the impression that he cares about the American people, there is a personal agenda. You just don't know what it is. He cares about Trump and his claim to the throne and the construction of his Versailles-like palaces. A man is dead. He's supposed to be a friend, his loyal foot soldier, and Trump's mind is on construction. Does that sound like a man who feels your pain? Does that sound like a man who gives a good goddamn about what you're going through? The problem is you Trump supporters will most likely, shrug your shoulders. Well, that's just Trump being Trump, like you always do. The ballroom pivot isn't just a bizarre action, it's consistent behavior. It's the real Trump, uncaring, aloof, and dismissive. And if you're honest with yourselves, how many times has he shown you exactly who he is and you refuse to believe him? You Trumpers voted him into the most powerful position in the land. You came from far and near to attend his rallies just to get a glimpse of him. You voted for him. You defended him, believing he was your champion, believing he spoke for the forgotten man, believing he cared about your struggles. But what has he given you in return for your loyalty? Do you have better jobs? No. In fact, some of you have lost the jobs you had. Do you have better health care? No. In fact, many of you will lose your health care with the enactment of the big bullshit bill and the cuts to Medicaid and plans covered under the Affordable Health Care Act. Do you have a lower cost of living? I don't think so. You know, you go to the grocery store now and spend $100 and walk out with 3 or 4 bags. People can barely afford your house payments because property taxes keep increasing, and between taxes and insurance cost, you're barely making it. Are we more unified as a nation than ever before? No. In fact, the country is a powder keg ready to explode. The gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting wider by the second. And Trump is busy building palaces. He's padding his pockets, don't you see? He's renovating a $400 million private jet that was given to him by a foreign country. The renovation cost to turn it into an Air Force One is classified. I wonder why that is. But that's a story for another day. Some speculate it could cost up to $400 million. And some say it could cost close to $1 billion. There's no way to know until that's made evident. And the ballroom that is under construction, and he is so excited about, is just another display of wasteful, unnecessary spending. And as a side note, do you Trumpers honestly believe you'd ever be invited within a mile of that ballroom? Would your family ever be welcome there? No. He wouldn't dare invite you or the likes of you, because at the end of the day, he despises each and every one of you and everything about you. He said it himself. He called his own base disgusting and low class, and you ignored it. And here's what should sting the most. Charlie Kirk died defending him and his ideas. Charlie Kirk lived and breathed Trump's message. And when asked about his death, Trump's words weren't grief, weren't comfort, weren't even pretense. They were, "I'm very good." So if he can shrug at Charlie Kirk's death, Charlie Kirk, his best bud, what makes you think he cares about you, about your job, about your kids, about your future? He doesn't. And he never has. He never will. At what point do you stop lying to yourself? At what point do you come to the realization you made a catastrophic mistake? He sees you Trumpers as subjects. He sees you as outsiders looking in, as dirty faces in the valley, poor and destitute, looking up at the palace on the hill with pearly gates and gold-laden driveways. And here's the final question for you Trump supporters. When you look at your empty wallet, your shrinking paycheck, your rising bills, can you still convince yourself that man selling you sneakers, Bibles, and fake coins is really fighting for you? Or do you finally admit you fell for the okie doke and you're just too embarrassed to admit it? Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.